Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm here today to talk about the 10th instalment of anti-abuse, and it is called disabled abuse. There is quite a few forms of being disabled, i.e. wheelchair bound, walking stick and crutches. In either of these forms of being disabled, no one should ever be abused in such a way. Unless the abuser walks a mile in their shoes. If not, they should be careful of what they say towards anyone that is disabled. Because anyone that is disabled has feelings. Because it is wrong to abuse anyone that is disabled, and you should think before you actually say anything towards them. Because you should never take the mickey or hurl abuse at them because they are different from anyone. Because they could be either in a car accident or due to health issues. Because they are classed as disabled. Even if you have a disability, you're still classed as disabled. Because I went to a school that is for special needs. They have kids with muscle deformity. They are classed as being disabled even though they have a disability. And there are ones with muteness, and because there's one kid in the school that I went to, not only is he has muteness, but he is classed as disabled because he's in a wheelchair. And there's one kid with muscle deformity in one arm and muscle tone problem from the waist downwards, even though he can still walk, but he needs a help from a Zimmer frame from the waist upwards so he can balance properly. And even he can walk on a walking stick with 4 prongs on the bottom, and plus he can be in a motorised wheelchair so he can get around. But I would never take the mickey out of him because I feel sorry for that kid. So you should never ever abuse anyone who needs help. Because I asked this kid who has a disability and being classed as disabled at the same time if he needs help cutting up his food, and one teacher assistant literally had a go at me asking this disabled kid if he needs help cutting his food up because he thinks he can actually do it himself. That is a form of abuse because I'm the one that's asking for help when this teacher assistant declared that I shouldn't give him any help because he said yes, that he needs help, but this teacher assistant said no, he does not need help. But I saw that he was struggling for cutting up his food. She did not. She's the one that abused him. Because she thinks that anyone with muscle deformity shouldn't have any help. But he's only been muscle deformity in one arm. He's only got one good arm. So he barely can move in one arm. That is classed as disabled. Because anyone who can't see that kind of disability or being disabled. You shouldn't abuse anyone who's trying to give that disabled person a helping hand. Because I'm the one that's got abused as well as that poor disabled kid. You shouldn't do that. Because it is absolutely wrong to abuse anyone in such a way. Because this kid could feel it from this teacher assistant who refused to give her help to him. Because he's the one that is classed as disabled and he's feeling hurt because of what she did by abusing me for giving him a helping hand when he said, yes, I do need a helping hand. Because he has one good hand who can operate by himself to pick things up one-handed. So he's classed as partially disabled from the waist upwards, as well as being partially disabled downwards. It doesn't matter whether you're partially disabled or fully disabled. You are still classed as disabled. Because if you're asking that poor person who is classed as disabled a helping hand, you should answer with a yes. But somebody else thinks, oh, this person can do it themselves. They're the abusers. And you should never think that way. When you see someone that is disabled, you should ask if they need a helping hand. Even if you're an amputee and you lost an arm, whether it's through the military, armed forces or the law enforcement, whether like the emergency services, if you lose an arm due to your own job, you should ask them, do you need a helping hand with anything? Then yes, if they say yes, then yeah, give them a helping hand. So be careful of what you say to anyone, because you never know if you're hurting that person or not. So be careful.